Hi, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Nico and I use he, him pronouns. I'm a white man with parted blonde hair, large dark spectacles, and a dark shirt. I'm seated against a blurred out background. And like about 25% of the US population, I'm disabled. Non-disabled people might see our lives as tragic, sad, pitiful, but I don't know, guys. I've been disabled a pretty long time, and I think there also exists opportunities and time for disabled joy. However, the disability community has as many members as it has opinions, which is why I've asked my friend Puneet here with me today to talk about disabled joy. Now, usually when I hold these conversations, I send people the questions in advance, but Puneet has actually asked that I not do that. So all his answers are going to be kind of off the cuff. So Puneet, thank you for joining me. How are you doing?
Thank you so much, Nico, for giving me this opportunity. You defined disabled joy so beautifully. It's amazing to hear how you see disabled joy. Just to give my visual description, I'm a brown man with a mustache and a little beard. I have black hairs. I'm wearing black headphones. I have a dark blue t-shirt. I'm sitting on a black chair and very excited to talk to Nico today.
Thank you, Puneet. That's very kind. Can you share a, I'm sorry, there is some sirens in my background. We'll hold and pause. Apologies. It's been a very dry summer in Philadelphia so far. Puneet, can you share a joyful memory with me? It could have to do with your disability, or it could be totally independent. Either is valid.
I think, Nico, I would like to share one incident with you. People with stammering have their highs and lows. Some days I have a very strong stutter, and some days I am, like, to say in a very, like, I'm not stuttering. So in my teenage, I used to become very happy when I was not stuttering, because I was used to feel like I have overcame my stuttering, and that used to give me a very high, high uh, response to, like, happiness. I have this sense of achievement when I'm not stuttering. So but in a social interaction, when something goes well, I used to feel very happy. But over the period of time, I have become o- okay with it, that even I have a very heavy stutter sometimes, then also I'm pretty much fine, and I have find joy in just being me, like not just, it's okay, it's fine that if I stutter or no, not stuttering, it's absolutely fine with me. So that's I would say a joy in being liberated from such societal expectations of being typically fluent in my expression. So I think I feel liberated, and for me, liberation is the most beautiful form of joy.
Had a lot of these interviews by now, but I really love your answer because of what you said right at the end there, right? Liberation is the most pure expression of joy, or your favorite expression of joy. That's really valid, and I see you in that definitely. Um, Very cool. Thank you for your answer. How has your disability intersected or impacted your ability to pursue your own joys or to pursue happiness for yourself?
I think due to, like, when I was physically interacting with people, I was unable to maintain eye contact. I was stuttering for the most period of my teenage. So what I used to do, I used to write a lot and read a lot. So when you are writing, with practice, you become very good. So I used to like write letters, I used to write emails, I used to write, whatever text message I got an opportunity, and people started to like the way how I write, how articulated I was. So when I was writing a a a, a message for them, like on their birthday or just thanking them, and I used to write it so beautifully because that's my only chance to actually express myself without like without anything, because I can just write and I have to just press send and it's all done. So it was so so beautiful for me and so easy for me to actually write letters and emails. So I think people really started to to see this like this my writing as a very as a quality of mine, and that gave me like a very uh, like a very good feedback, and that was also giving me validation that I am good in something. So I think for people will say that no, I'm not seeking validation. For me, for at least one day of the month, or I will say that few days in the year, I need validation. I need pure external validation, and that was I was getting it from my writing. So that makes a huge difference.
It absolutely does. I see you in that. I hear you saying that you began to read and write a lot to help deal with your disabled experience, to um, also kind of give yourself a way to express yourself that wouldn't be vocal based. And I definitely see you in that. Um, Part of why I'm such a big reader does stem from, being excluded as a disabled kid. So, for example, I'll meet your vulnerability with vulnerability from myself. Um, Especially when I was a very young kid in school, a lot of classes had designated nap times or rest times that I couldn't take part in, right? Because at that point in my
Yeah,
life,
yeah.
I had a trach, I had some huge machine that I had to get hooked up to whenever I was asleep. So I couldn't just go to sleep like all my peers
Mhm.
could. So I would read during those times. I became a very good reader. Um, and then in like subsequent grades, maybe third, fourth, fifth grade, kids would turn to me because they knew that I knew what was cool to read. So it's odd, isn't it, how disabled experiences and how our coping mechanisms kind of show up all throughout our lives. Puneet, it sounds like you've had a lot of experience with being disabled. So I'm going to ask you to do something difficult, and that is pick just one thing you want everyone else to know about disabled life and disabled quality of life.
I think uh, I'm I'm a very like I'm only one person, right? I can represent only one disabled life,
Yeah.
but I would be taking this risk. I would be taking this courage
Okay.
to to represent all of us that we we are very selfless people. Like and when we do something for ourselves, we feel very guilty, and that has came from my when I look back. So when you look back, everything fall in place. So why I became a disability inclusion advocate, I see now, because when I was raising voice always for others, never for myself. And even now I'm doing advocacy from my own lived experiences. It is not for me. It is come from that place in my heart where I want to help others. So I actually, even now when I'm always talking about my lived experiences, I do it for the sake of others always. So like it's always like that. For me, if I do something for myself, I feel very guilty. Still I'm working on that. I'm actively addressing that. But I think that is true for many of us. Like Nico, you that most of readers, because we were somehow alienated from the external society. So these are the common things which I would say disabled lives and disabled joys. There are some connections between all of us. Like no matter what country we are coming from, no matter what race, no matter what religion, but these things are very common within these disabled lives across.
That's very valid. Yeah, I definitely see you when you say that you find it maybe a little easier to work on the behalf of others than on the behalf of yourself. And then you say that the work that you do, which is really fantastic work, isn't for you, but it's for other disabled people. It's very, I find it's very common, at least in my experience, to really want to make things better for future disabled generations, even if you're not going to reap the benefits of your own work, you're at least making things a little more easy for people who come after you. And that's really how you build that movement and how you make any progress over time is that you build your accomplishments off the shoulders of everyone else, right? So when I say I want my ceiling to be the next generation's floor, that's really what we're getting at and kind of what your answer also touches on. Excellent. I love it. Thank you so much so far, Puneet. I have one final planned question, and it's a question I ask all my interviewees. Puneet, is there a recent win that you're celebrating that we can help celebrate alongside you if you want to name it? Or if not, where can people find you online? What cool things are you involved in? What have you got coming up? This is your chance to be your own cheerleader, to promote yourself, to brag, as it were. So please, I'm all ears.
Uh, I think I'm doing a lot of amazing things, and thank you to you, especially you have really supported me a lot.
Of
Thanks to
course.
the whole DLC community, like it's been a great uh, journey with all the community members. I have been associated with GNYP PWD, and right now like I'm supporting uh, the innovators, these youngsters with disabilities across the planet. So what I'm trying to do is to supporting them in their solution which they are like planning to create. Some maybe some are doing some tech thingy, maybe some are into AI, all of these things to in the field of accessibility. So I'm really excited to support them. The This will go on till December, and also along with that, I my organization was conducting workshops in Syria with young ladies, and as you know that there was an earthquake there. So I asked them, that maybe like we should put it on a hold. But these ladies said that this is the only 1 hour of the day where we enjoy our lives, and that made me so happy. That made me like I don't want anything else in life. This one sentence like is all what I'm working for. So I think working with people, and especially working with the disabled people, and to share their joy, it's invaluable for me. I cannot like emphasize more on it. All these little victories, all these little joys, it's amazing. I'm living my dream, and thanks to the community, I have been like I don't see myself doing all such amazing things without your support.
That's incredible. I'm so glad to hear this and that you are fostering joy and bringing little joys to others as part of your work. Thank you for what you're doing. All right, audience,
Thank you so much,
tune
Nico. Thank you.
in next time, and remember, I'm rooting for you.